Alright, and we live. What to do, off the bench family? We back with another episode. This is the 14th official episode off the bench podcast. And all the new people tuning in, y'all go ahead and leave a like, comment, subscribe. Go ahead and hit that subscribe button. Got a lot more in store for y'all, and gonna continue to follow me on the journey as we hit this road to 1,000 subs on YouTube. Uh, tell a friend, tell a friend, and tell a friend, man. Y'all keep pushing out there. This is Off the Bench podcast, and I am your co-host. Oh, and I know last video, uh, I had dropped on my page. It was about the NBA Eastern Conference teams and the moves and all season moves that they can make in free agency and via trade. But as we all know, the draft was yesterday, so I think I'm gonna turn my attention towards there and free agency. A lot of moves that have been going on in the league, so I think that's what we're gonna talk about today. And I'm gonna start off with some of my draft day standouts that I feel like, to me, who will come in and, well, I'm not even gonna say just come in and make an impact. I'm just say the picks that kind of was my favorite from the teams and the players they opposed to pick in terms of the fit aspect and how can they come in and impact their team. And this is what I was considering. And the first person was Brandon Miller. I'm glad that he got the number 2 pick. I've been seeing on Twitter that the Hornets, they was torn between him and Scoot, and I'm glad they didn't overthink it by drafting Brandon Miller, because if you was to draft Scoot, I feel like it was unnecessary. You already have LaMelo Ball there, and I feel like you need to go and sign Terry Rozier, which he's a restricted free agent. So I think that needs to be a priority. I don't think pairing Scoot and LaMelo would be a good pairing, and I just don't think it would be a good fit. Uh, but grabbing somebody like Brandon Miller, I think it would be a perfect addition to what their Charlotte Hornets need. They need a wing player that can go create his own shot, who can space the floor for LaMelo. As you look, they lead. They had Miles Bridges, but he got into some trouble, some off the court troubles, and Gordon Hayward. But I think he's just not the player that he was anymore, and we all know that. So I think Brandon Miller and the direction of your team, and you going young, you going youth, drafting a player like that with that much upside and versatility on the offensive end. The sky's the limit for him. He 6'9", 200 pounds. In the 37 games he played this year, he averaged 19 points and 8.2 rebounds as a true freshman. He shot 43% from the field, 38.4% from the three-point land. Even though he did have a couple fluky games in the tournament, but for the most part, he was number one option for number one team in the SEC this year. In Alabama, they won the SEC tournament again, and he was the main part of that. He had his hands on a lot of on Alabama's success, and I think that was a good draft pick by the Charlotte Hornets, and definitely just not overthinking it by drafting Scoot over Brandon Miller, because you feel like that was a better prospect. But I just feel like you got to look at the fit too as well when you drafting these players, because Scoot may turn out to be a better player, but if you was to draft him, you might have compromised his trajectory of his development, because you have LaMelo already there, a young up and coming guard who I think he got a potential to take that next step this season or in seasons to come, because he's still young. He's 21 years of age, 20 years of age. So yeah, I feel like Brandon Miller was definitely a good solid pickup by the Charlotte Hornets. My second pick would be Anthony Black to the Orlando Magic. Anthony Black, guard out of Arkansas. A 6'7" guard. I'd say a wing player. 198 pounds. Uh, He's just a versatile player. He's a good basketball player. He played both sides of the ball. Uh, he got nice size, as I just said. He's 6'7". He can be a lead guard. He can play off the ball. He can defend. He can rebound. He can play in the open court. And he been saying the way Arkansas the play style was, the coach must. He was preaching to him just to get downhill, attack the basket. It was kind of and compromise him showcasing his shooting ability. But he said he got the 3-point shot down. But in Arkansas, 36 games played, He averaged 13 points, 4 assists, 5 rebounds. That's a complete stat line as a true freshman, just to show you that he a good basketball player. And by the Orlando Magic drafting him, and I'd like the direction of where the Orlando Magic going with Markel folks over there. You can even though if you don't want Markel folks to slide to the two, like I said, Anthony Black is very much capable of playing off ball, but I really feel like he can be a good lead guard for the Orlando Magic. You also still have Jalen Suggs there, but Anthony Black can come off the bench. You got Frank Wagner, Paulo Banchero. I like you got Wendell Carter. I like the nice young youth Magic team that they got building over there. Um, 2 3 years they're gonna be a force to reckon with. But Anthony Black, he was only shot 30% from the field, 30% from the field from downtown, which in the NBA that is a little suspect. Definitely gonna have to showcase more uh, in if you want to get serious minutes. He definitely gonna have to work on that. Just being coming in, going to the team he going. Like I said, him having to be a lead guard or off ball player, knocking down shots is gonna have to be part of his repertoire now. Everything just can't be going downhill. Going in there with those 7'2", 7'3", those big man, athletic, long big man. Even though 6'9", that's up there, everybody can jump with you. Then, everybody athletic, fast, and strong, just like you you know. Uh, so I think that not just being able to knock down an open shot would be crucial for AB as he head to Orlando. But I definitely think that's a solid pickup by the Orlando Magic. Just an overall good basketball player with good high basketball IQ, a good defensive minded player. He's gonna play hard. Uh, yeah, man, I like that, and I think AB gonna thrive over there in Orlando, and Orlando gonna do what they can do best to get the most out of AB. I like that. Next up, I like Jarris Walker. I'm sorry if I'm saying your name wrong. Was saying it wrong last night as we were watching the draft. He's 6'8", 240 pounds. He kind of remind me a little bit like of a Aaron Gordon, how his body structure is, and I feel like his game style kind of matched that too. A big physical, low post player. He can play above the rim, and I feel like he's gonna have all the defensive tools as well, where he can be, a good 3-and-D guy. Uh, he played 33 games this year, average 11 points, 6.8 rebounds, so 7 rebounds and 1.3 blocks. Definitely some that you can love at the NBA level, at the next level that he's going to. And by the Indiana Pacers drafting him, I like what they doing at that forward position. They addressed something that they needed, a wing that can guard 225, 6'8", big, strong, athletic, to pair over there with Tyrese Halliburton, Buddy Hield, Miles Turner, Benedict Mathurin over there. Now you just added Jarris Walker into that. I like what they doing over there. That's probably gonna be my sleeper rookie of the year pick right there, Jarris Walker, in terms of his impact and what he can bring to the next level and to that team specifically. Because like I said, he got all the tools to make and all the makings of to being a lead wing defender. He's 6'8", he's 240, he's strong, physical, he athletic, he can slide his feet, versatile defender. He can slide out there with the guards, he can bang down low because of his size and his physical attributes that go along with that. And I think that would be good over there with Tyrese Halliburton. We'll be able to get him a lot of open looks, and the way he is, he was second in assists this year. He got a nice little young team over there with Buddy Hield as well. Uh, I like that a lot about Indiana. I'm gonna say next up, I'm gonna say Lil Nick out of Arkansas. Lil Nick, him going to the Charlotte Hornets as well. I think that would be a good addition. Somebody who come off the bench and provide a scoring spark. Kind of, he remind me of the Rams of kind of like a like the Tyrese Halliburtons, the Jordan Pooles, the Tyler Heroes, the Tyrese Maxeys, and those are the words that can come off the bench and light it up. The Emmanuel Quickleys, the Malik Monks of the world, where he can be somebody who can be a 6 man, 7 man, somebody off your bench who can galvanize your bench, give you a spark, that extra on the offensive end. He got the tools. He got nice size. Nick 6'5", nice long. He can score at all three levels, get to the basket, he can play above the rim, he can score in the mid range, he can knock down the three, he can go create his own shot. I think he got everything that Charlotte kind of need in terms of bench production and just young talent, to pair over there with LaMelo. And of course, Brandon Miller's, they play AAU together, so that's chemistry right there. Um, Somebody that they gonna be familiar with, so they'll be comfortable coming into the situation they coming into. And I really like that for Lil Nick as well. He can go over there, be, I'm not gonna say the main guy, but like I said, he can be somebody who coming off the bench, and I think the coach will not just give him the keys, but just give him the confidence to go out there and play like himself, and kind of give him the green light of that second unit to do what you do, because I think Nick have all the tools to being a all-star level player, all-star borderline level player, or what I'm saying, a gifted a gifted scorer, a natural born scorer. Like I said, he can score at all three levels and in between game. Got a nice floater. Uh, it was the draft combine. No, it was a Clutch Sports Pro Day, and I think I seen somewhere on Instagram he went like the whole mid range workout without missing a shot. So he's definitely a prolific shooter, scorer. Um, he can get to the basket, knock down his free throws. I think he also is a good basketball player. Uh, Kind of surprised that he went as low as he did. He dropped all the way from being a projected lottery pick to 27th, but he's gonna walk in with a chip on his shoulder, being hungry, coming into the situation he coming into. I'm looking forward to it because Lil Nick can play ball. He can definitely score, and the situation he in with LaMelo, with Brandon, with what I'm saying, now adding himself over there with PJ Washington. I think the Hornets, they definitely got a nice little young core that they can build upon. Uh, just don't overthink it. Play those new guys to the best of their ability, to their strengths, where they can be comfortable, and what I'm saying, you can have yourself a squad. Uh, Also, I like to pick up that the Phoenix Suns had drafted 6'8", 220 out of Dalton. He a 4-year player. He started off his 2 seasons with Georgia, but he progressed every year from his first year to his 4 years. He did 4 total years. Average 14 and 9, shooting 52% from the field, 31% from the 3-point line. Uh, Versatile defender, underrated defender. 6'8", switch out into guards. He can definitely move his feet. I seen a lot in this scouting report. A lot of clips that I watch. He can switch out to the guards. He got good hands. Just very sound and defensive minded on the defensive end. Got a lot of IQ and knowledge for the game. Good feel for the game at a young age. I feel like to the Phoenix Suns that would be a good pickup as well. Um, and knowing that you got 3 caliber guys like Book, KD, now Bradley Beal, where they gonna make the game easier for you on the offensive end, which you've already got the size. You got you 6'8" with a 7'2", 7'3" wingspan. You can play above the rim. You got nice footwork in the post, which playing with guys like that was gonna make your game even easier. Just be at the right spot at the right time. Make sure you just dunking everything that's given to you, young fella. Uh, and on the defensive side, just play your game. You use your size, your length, or you can switch out to them guards. Uh, a good rim protector, good high energy level player right there. And I like that for the Phoenix Suns. Kind of addressing your needs right now, and I like an addition to the team already because you got Frank Vogel, a defensive minded coach that's gonna try to make this team a defensive minded first, and adding a player like this who can kind of complement your star players and what they trying to do on the defensive and offensive side of the ball. I think that would be good for him as well. Uh, I think that kind of concludes like my draft standouts from last night. Like I said, I'm probably no. Yes, I'm definitely am missing some. I was gonna forget the twins, the Thompson twins. A man got drafted fourth by the Houston Rockets, which I definitely love. I definitely love that pick. 6'7", he can play the two guard. Got a nice handle. I think his shot is still to be discovered, seeing how it translates from OTE to the league. But he got size, he got athleticism, he can play above the rim. He good in the open court. He got a nice handle, smooth handle. Uh, I think he'll also be a solid defender too. I think he's gonna play with high energy, high motor. And going to the Houston Rockets, Ime is the head coach over there now, who gonna kind of change the culture over there, uh, change the direction, and kind of just bring some stability over there with the Houston Rockets and what they're trying to do. I think Ime is that type of coach. He can get the most out of his players. His first year with the being a head coach with the Boston Celtics, he took them to the NBA Finals, 2 games away from winning. Of course, they released him because whatever problems, which we're not gonna get into today. Uh, but he got another chance with the Houston Rockets, which I think he's gonna do good. You got Jalen Green. You drafted Jabari Smith last year. You got now you just drafted the man Thompson this year. You also drafted Cam Whitmore, who I can't let go unnoticed. Supposed to be a projected top 5 pick, flew all the way down to a 20th pick. Man, the draft was crazy, and the draft definitely had a lot of talent in it. I can't lie. Uh, Definitely had a lot of talent. The Houston Rockets. I like that pickup by man Thompson, man. I love the Thompson twins. I love their game, and man gonna fit right into that system. With Jalen Green, Kevin Porter Jr. Now himself, Jabari, and you got Al Shane Goon over there. I forgot about him as well. I think a man would be somebody who you can bring off your bench. Uh, and can play both sides of the ball. I don't really have just a player comparison right now because it still be discovered because people be saying OTE they have a lack of talent, lack of competition, and all this. We don't know what he did against these other guys. He did this against such and such because this league was kind of weak, but I still think him as a player, he can dribble the ball, he can create his own shot. Uh, he definitely can play above the rim, and which is gonna be enough because he can be a good cutter. Like I said, he a good basketball player. He know the game. I feel like he know the game. I feel like he got a good feel for the game where he don't have to have the ball to be effective. He can be a effective player off the ball as well. Same thing with a Shark getting drafted by the Detroit Pistons. Kind of damn near the same exact situation with him and his brother. Him getting drafted by Detroit. Monty Williams is a good new head coach over there with that young black culture that you're trying to build over there, where I think he'll fit in and come in and be comfortable. I think he'll have a role over there with the Detroit Pistons off the bench, being like a 6'7" man, being probably probably one of the best young defenders in the draft. I got him. I'm talking about Ashar Thompson right after Jarris Walker. I got Ashar right up there as one of the top young prospects as a defender, and I think that's definitely will probably be his role his first couple years playing under Monty in Detroit, knowing that you got K, you drafted Jaden Ivey, uh, uh, now you got Ashar, you got Isaiah Stewart, James Wiseman. I'm sorry, I can't just list off not the names right now. You also still got veteran guys over there like Alec Burke and Bobby. they got a nice little young team over there with a couple vets. I see the direction. I see the vision. Uh, I can definitely see Detroit being a playing team this year, kind of how the Thunder was, how the Thunder was this year. They can make some noise and in that playing tournament, kind of knock out a team. You know, what I'm saying, get an extra game, kind of fight for a playoff spot, eventually lose, but give the city of Detroit hope and show them where where they can see themselves in the future. I think that was a good addition right there. I think Monty would be good developing him, putting him in positions to succeed, and adding another young, athletic size on a wing. Where you can't get too much of in today's NBA. It's a wings league. You win with wing players, uh, and going to get that right there, that definitely was a solid pickup right there. So yeah, Brandon Miller, Jarris Walker, Anthony Black, both of the Thompson twins, and Nick. Those will probably be my standouts of the 2023 NBA draft this year. It was a lot of talent out there, a lot of talent. I didn't even speak on Keontae George. Didn't speak too much on Cam Whitmore. He also with the Houston Rockets. Uh, who else I'm think I'm missing? Who else I'm missing? Who else I'm missing? I ain't even getting to Scoop, which would be good, those would be my standouts in terms of immediate impact. Oh, and I'm glad I would right before I forget before we move on. In case on Wallace to Oklahoma City Thunder, the the addition that he will bring coming off that bench when you already got J Dub, you already got Luke Dort, you got Shea, you got Giddy, you got Chet coming back from injury, what people tend to forget. You got Chet coming back from injury. You got Isaiah Joe. You got Jalen Williams coming off your bench as your backup big. Now you add somebody like Casey Wallace who can be a backup point guard for Shea, or Giddy who can play off the ball as well. Uh, be a solid defender on the perimeter who can be a houndy defender who can make plays. And he said one of the most underrated things about his game that he didn't get to showcase at Kentucky is that he can go get a bucket as well. So I'm looking forward to seeing him at OKC. I think he fit the play style, the system, the culture over there. I think he's a good basketball player, and I think he'll help them immediately. Get them an immediate impact. And that's what I'm just talking about with the names that I've been listing. Just players who I think that's gonna go to that team and make an immediate impact on that team that they got drafted to. And Brandon Miller, Jarris Walker, Anthony Black, uh, Nick Smith, the Thompson twins, and Casey Wallace. I feel like those guys right there stood out to me on draft night. That I feel like that's gonna make their teams, may not get them over the hump, but got them trending in the right direction where they can right stepping stones to get them over that hump. Draft night was a good night. Every young kid dream come true was walking that stage, and unfortunately, some people dream didn't come true. I seen Trey Mann talk about he got robbed of, but that's just how it goes sometimes. But move on. We're gonna talk about the Bradley Beal situation. Bradley Beal got traded to the Phoenix Suns. This is officially official now. You know what I'm saying? Written in stone. And me, being I'm not gonna say a Phoenix Suns fan, but I most likely will since I think KD will retire there. KD die hard right here. Uh, Initially, I really like the trade. We losing old ass Chris Paul and Landry Shamet bum ass for what I'm saying, all star, all NBA guy proven scorer, and Bradley Beal, not even just a scorer that's diminishing his character. Kind of like KD said, he a good basketball player, and I've been floating around people talking about the depth and what I'm saying, how they gonna play together and the fit remarks. I like the fit. Bradley Beal, like I just stated, he's a basketball player, a high level basketball player, know how to play the game. He came into the league being an off ball player, a true shooting guard, playing alongside John Wall, doing a lot of his work on catch and shoots, off the catch, not doing too much credit for himself. But as the years go by, His game did expand. Uh, I think he's an underrated passer. Last year, he had his best career year in playmaking with 6.6 assists, almost 7 assists a game. And that's an underrated aspect that people don't talk about Bradley Beal. They just want to talk about the scoring, but I feel like he's an overall good player. Uh, I feel like people talk about the defense and Bradley Beal. I feel like Bradley Beal coming into this situation knowing what he was getting himself into. He knew he was coming in playing with Kevin Durant, Devin Booker. I don't think that's gonna be a problem offensively. They are dogs, man. So I don't know where people be just thinking like you just have to be defense. Just man, defense is effort. And KD, Book, Bradley Beal, those real dogs over there, man. So when the time present itself, when it's time to guard up, you're gonna see those three players guard up. You're gonna show them actually show capabilities of sliding their feet, stay in front of their man, and show a different side of their game that people just not accustomed to. But me knowing being a basketball player, knowing how their game is, like I said, they are complete basketball players. They dogs. They not just gonna let people just go around and beat them off the dribble and score on them. They're gonna take pride in that and want to stop and they want to win, and that's the most important thing. And all of this, Bradley Beal, he gonna buy in to what Frank Vogel got going on, to what the Phoenix Sun organization got going on, to the players aspect, and even to his role. I think his role is gonna still kind of be similar to his first couple years when he was playing with John Wall. Doing a lot of catch and shoots, doing a lot of off the ball movements, doing a lot of cutting, which he still was doing in these last couple years. That he had to do more in terms of playmaking and creating his own shots and not getting those same open looks. But you know what I'm saying? Since 2012, he haven't had a season under four attempts a game in terms of 3 points. His lowest year was 2021. When he shot 30% from the field, but he shot 5 attempts a game. With that, he 37% on catch and shoot threes, 41% on open threes. So I think that number right there is kind of eye opening. How the spacing that he can bring to this team with KD and Book, because you gotta respect Beal. You just not gonna leave Bradley Beal in the corner on the open wing to go trap with those two other guys because Bradley Beal he's a capable, known All NBA player. Like I said, he was first team All NBA. I think his 2021 season when he played with Russ, uh, led the league in scoring twice, averaged 30 in his NBA twice. This season he had a down year. Didn't really play that. He played 50 games. He averaged 23, 4 and 5. Shot 51% from the field. He shot 37% from the 3 point line. uh I just think from a basketball perspective that it's gonna be a good fit. I know the people like to talk about the death and all that other goofy and I ain't gonna all the other goofy mess that come along with, saying building a good team around of course a player like Kevin Durant and Devin Booker. Uh but the harsh reality and the truth reality is that this gonna be a good ball club because you have to think about the two players that they gave up to what they had to give up to gain, and which they won in that sense. The two players that you give up, uh, not better than the person that you got, and I don't think the production that you gave up is, what I'm saying, not equal to the production that you received. So I think it's an upgrade for the Phoenix Suns as well. Uh, I'm intrigued and I'm interested to see how they fill out the rest of this roster. And interesting to see if they gonna trade DeAndre Ayton. I know his name been in a lot of trade talks. Looking forward to it. Yeah, man, Bradley Beal. That's a good pickup. That's a good pickup. I'm looking forward to seeing it. And Phoenix Suns outside of Denver, I'm gonna give Denver their respect, knowing they just came off the run they just had. But the Phoenix Suns did take 2 games, and it was tied 2-2 without Chris Paul, and in Game 6 without DeAndre Ayton. You adding a guy like Bradley Beal into this mix. I ain't gonna say too much too early, but I like our chances going into this season. Giving a full, and it's kind of different. It's not the same from the Brooklyn Nets, with James Harden, Kyrie, and KD. Because Devin Booker, Bradley Beal, and Kel, they come in from day one. They get a training camp. They get preseason. They get game one from game 82, where it's gonna lead into the playoffs instead of getting traded 20 games into the season. Get traded at trade deadline. Then somebody get hurt, or we gotta prolong the process of getting games and reps on it together. But instead, we make this happen in the off season. We come in training camp. We establish some foundation in what we trying to do. We build it over from preseason. We build it on what we do from preseason from game one. We build on game one, from game two, from game two, from game three, all the way up to 82. Then it's time to go into the playoffs, rocking and rolling. And that's where I think a lot of people need to get, this trade mixed. Don't need to get it mixed up with the Brooklyn Nets trade and that big three, and why that didn't work, because that kind of got thrown together in a sense. They only played 11 games together, which I think this big three gonna definitely play more than 11 games together, barring any injury. You know what I'm saying? God forbid we don't get injured this year. But yeah, I like Bradley Beal to the Suns a lot. But we gonna move on. Kristaps Porzingis, he got traded to the Boston Celtics for Marcus Smart. Initially, I like the trade, but looking back on it, even though I wanted Marcus Smart to be gone anyway from the Boston Celtics, I just don't think this trade didn't add what they needed. All I feel like they did was get a taller Al Horford and Kristaps Porzingis. Everything that Al Horford did is I feel like that's exactly what Kristaps Porzingis is gonna do. He just a younger and taller body, with a bigger name in a sense. If you want to say that, they didn't address the playmaking situation. They didn't address the point guard situation going forward. That was really the Achilles heel these last two seasons. In the clutch time situation, they need somebody who can get the ball to Jaylen Brown and Jason Tatum. You know what I'm saying? In they spots where they don't have to come down and dribble 20, 25 times before they have to get into a move. And that's going to mess up their whole rhythm and disrupt their flow. Excuse me. But yeah, Kristaps Porzingis, don't get me wrong, he a good player. Last season, he definitely had his best season. 23 and 8, you know what I'm saying, 8 rebounds. But when have we ever talked about Porzingis just being that dude for real, for real? He played with Luka. We talked down on him then. He went to New York, talked down on him then. He been at Washington. This was the best season because he was healthy. Played 65 games. But Kristaps Porzingis, it don't move me how everybody else view it. I understand you got size. You got a lot of size over there with Jason Tatum, 6'10", Jaylen Brown, 6'6", 6'5". You got a Rod Will over there. Now you added a 7'3" player. Now I'm pretty sure Derek White going to exert into their starting lineup with a 6'7" point guard. I understand from that standpoint, but I don't think Derek White is the typical point guard that you was looking for. He was on this team. He was on this team when we were talking about how they needed a point guard to get them in those situations. He was still on. He was on that roster these last 2 years. You know, um, so I don't think that moves the needle for them in any sense. I still think they need a point guard to make up for the ball handling, to make up for the playmaking. Uh, but in terms of like everything, I don't really know. I get it probably like a C. It's a I don't feel like it moved the needle. I don't think it pushed them back. I don't think it pushed them forward. It kind of just it was just okay moves. Yeah, you got a better player, but Mark Smart will be missed on the defensive side of the ball in terms of energy, the culture he brought, the leadership. Uh, yeah, so it's crazy. I'm hoping Peyton Pritchard now get his shot at some point guard minutes. I feel like he need to be the backup point guard now Because you were just trying to get rid of Malcolm Brogdon as well, trying to trade him to the Clippers, talking about how he injury prone and all this. So Celtics just got too much going on for, we've been saying they supposed to been the title favorites in 2018 after Jason Tatum rookie year when they went to the Eastern Conference Final, took LeBron them to 7 games. Every year after that they've been the favorites and they still haven't won no title. I feel like they damn near like the Dallas Cowboys. They always a step away. They always it's always next year for them. So until I gotta see it to believe it. But I just don't really just like the move too much in terms of a team aspect of did it elevate you. Yes, you got a better player, a better name, a better player. And yes, he scored 23 points, but he didn't play meaningful basketball for the Washington Wizards. And yes, you could say that for Bradley Beal, but uh, I feel like Bradley Beal's situation is a little more unique than Kristaps Porzingis, because Kristaps Porzingis showed us what type of player he is. He had one good year, which was this season. And I feel like he was semi like a 1A, 1B, 1C over there. Him, Kuzma, and Bradley Beal, you know, they were just letting whoever had the high hand. That's how it was. So he got a lot of his rocks off. So I guess it was okay, but the most confusing trade to me of all that happened so far is the Chris Paul to the Golden State Warriors. Now, I really don't understand it. I really don't see it working. Uh, Obviously, Chris Paul won't be starting with Steph Curry, Klay Thompson, Draymond, so he'll be running that second unit with who will be coming off the second unit for him to be running. I think the role that I see him playing is kind of like an Andre Iguodala in the sense which I don't think he can play that role because Andre Iguodala is 6'8". He can defend better than the CP can, taller than CP is. So it's a little bit different. And the play style of the Golden State Warriors, they ranked number one, number two in terms of pace and in offense. Chris Paul was ranked bottom 3rd% in the league in pace this season. So I just don't think how they go in having him and Draymond. I'm pretty sure at times you're gonna have lineups with him, Draymond, and Steph on the court. I just don't see a backcourt with Chris Paul and Steph Curry. You know that's gonna be lunch food down there. Chris Paul 38 going on 39. I just don't understand it. I think they could have traded for somebody else instead instead of Chris Paul, but it made sense because Chris Paul didn't want to be there. He was looking to go to a contender. The Golden State Warriors, they wanted to get off this Jordan Poole contract so they can free up money for Draymond and eventually Klay Thompson. And I'm gonna just say this: Golden State Warriors, y'all full of shit, man. Y'all Draymond been fucking up a lot of shit for y'all. Y'all always choosing Draymond. You know what I'm saying? He essentially the reason why KD had left. Now he the reason Jordan Poole gone. This nigga punched Jordan Poole, and everybody put the blame on Jordan Poole. Man, y'all better get out of my face with that, man. I know if a nigga hit me at practice, man, hey, Jordan Poole better than me. I ain't gonna lie, because he was gonna have to fight me Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. He was gonna have to fight me every day. Nigga punch me like that. I ain't gonna lie. Ain't nobody finna punch me, and y'all think I'm finna be cool with it. Why y'all ain't tell him to be professional when he was the one who was hitting me? But now I'm the one out here, and I'm just y'all telling me to be professional. Man, get out of here with that. Golden State, y'all full of shit, man. I ain't gonna lie, but uh. yeah, I think that really concludes this video, and we talked about my standouts from the NBA draft yesterday, which was Anthony Black, Jarris Walker, Brandon Miller, Cason Wallace, the Thompson twins, and Lil Nick out of Arkansas. And we talked about the free agency. Bradley Beal kind of kicked off free agency with his trade. That was probably the major move of the offseason right so far right now. and then him teaming up with forming the big three with Devin Booker and KD. Uh, that's definitely gonna be fireworks over there, and you know what I'm saying. And I'm ready for it. I got my popcorn ready, and they get back a motherfucker. They get back. They get back. They get back a motherfucker. Y'all already told y'all right after we had lost in 6 to the Denver Nuggets. Y'all knew how we was coming, man. And we got off Chris Paul old ass. We handed his wash down ass to Golden State. We let them have him do whatever they finna do with him, which they probably ain't finna do nothing with him, but get them out of the way. And Porzingis, his little weak ass that went to the Celtics, but that's cool. That was a cool move, I guess. Still gotta see him play with him and see how it really worked for real, how it's gonna all come together. Uh, but yeah, that concludes my video, man. Like I said, y'all go ahead and leave a like, comment, subscribe, and moving forward, y'all gonna see a lot more videos like this. Y'all just keep doing what y'all doing in terms of tuning in, hitting that like button, and tell a friend and tell a friend and tell a friend to come tune in, and go ahead and subscribe to the channel to watch their journey, to stay on their journey. Cause I promise you, it's only gonna get better from here. And we out.